Chemistry Try lesson, Lab Equipment Identification. Every lab station in this classroom has two drawers of equipment, a glassware drawer and a hardware drawer. It's important that you study the name of this equipment as you will be using it in almost every lab. You will also be tested on the lab safety quiz, which, by the way, you must pass if you're going to do any labs. There are two pictures in the next few slides of each drawer, one with the equipment spread out on the lab table with the names listed. Study these. The second picture shows how each drawer should look when the equipment is stored in it. Please remember, any item that is missing or broken, and the lab team at that station will be charged for it. There is a lab equipment price sheet located at the front of the classroom. As you can see, this is the equipment that is in the glass drawer. We have test tube racks, we have borosilicate beakers, you have graduated cylinders. This here is a pipette bulb. The scupulas or spatulas are used for picking up dry powders. We never put them directly onto our hands or anything of that nature. And we have tweezers and stirring rods located down here for us to not be able to touch chemicals. Watch glasses we use once in a while, but if you're ever wanting to see what a chemical reaction would do, you put it on top of in this liquid solution on top of the watch glass and watch it there. Please remember that you should always be wearing goggles whenever we are messing around with chemicals. If we were looking at this pile of stuff and figuring out which one would I use to be the most accurate in measuring a solution, the first thing would be to use my pipette bulb, because my pipette bulb right here would attach to a pipette, which you could ask the teacher for, and get a 10 milliliter pipette and then draw out the solution up to an exact amount. Second, if we were not using a pipette, then we would use one of the graduated cylinders. These are the next things that would be the most accurate. We never measure in beakers or in Erlenmeyer flasks. These are for reactions to happen in. They are not to be measuring for very accurate liquids. As you can see, this is what the drawer should look like when you have everything stored in it. The beakers are stored on top of each other, and be very careful when you open the drawer. Once again, anything that is broken, you bought it. Here is the items that are in your hardware drawer. Some of these things go together. The ring stand rod here screws into the ring base here. These items over here all clamp on to the ring stand to hold certain things. Your iron rings is where we would place our iron gauze. Striker is what we use up here to light our Bunsen burner. And these two sets of tongs you have, these here are beaker tongs. These are crucible tongs. Do not use crucible tongs on beakers, as you will have a tendency for it to slip out. Okay? There will be more information during the lab as we go through this, but you need to know the names of these, so when I ask you to get something out in a lab, or if you're trying to pass the exam, the little lab quiz that you're going to take, you understand these. When you have it all packed into the drawer, it should look something like this. It doesn't have to look exact, but it should look fairly close. Please remember to review these as often as you need, because you are going to have to pass a lab safety quiz. The lab safety quiz can be found on the website and is digital, so as soon as you think you're ready, click on it, take the quiz. Remember, Chemistry Try and stay gritty.